Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of ACE Alliance Insights. My name is Magda, and for those of you who just had the chance to join our community, ACE Alliance is all about driving insightful conversations and helping you learn from the top voices of the iGaming industry. And this session is brought to you by Pinup Partners, which is the leading iGaming affiliate program with over 8 years of experience, flexible geo terms, and award-winning reliability. And today, I'm very happy to be joined by Paul Paaka, the Chief Marketing Officer at Mr. Gamble. Paul brings over a decade of experience to the iGaming industry. Since 2014, he has developed a broad skill set across affiliate management, marketing, and business development. Paul is behind the successful branding and content strategy of Mr. Gamble. He has extensive knowledge in marketing strategy and SEO as well, and he has worked on both the operator and affiliate sides of the industry, including running his own affiliate venture. Paul, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all good, and thanks for having me here. So enjoying Lapland at the moment, as you can see on the scenes behind. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. It is really great to have you here. And we spoke very briefly about you being in Lapland. This is a really amazing surrounding. So in this session, we'll be diving into the world of iGaming affiliate marketing, from strategies for maintaining strong partnerships between affiliates and operators to overcoming challenges that they face every day. So if you have questions for Paul, drop them in the comments and we'll try to address as many as we can during this session. So for those viewers and listeners who are new here, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how your journey in iGaming started?
So yeah, as mentioned, I'm a CMO at Mr. Gamble iGaming affiliate brand, originally from Finland, northern Finland. And I started in iGaming in 2014. That was kind of like a mistake. I wouldn't say mistake, but kind of like by chance that I was working in Finland. I felt a bit like stuck in a rut with my previous work and stuff like that. And I never lived abroad before that one. So I felt that I wanted something different, and just Malta popped up, because I was searching some job and stuff like that. So I was supposed to be here in Malta actually for 1 year, but it ended up I stayed 2.5 years there. I basically started just in customer support, learned the basics. Quite soon I figured out that my best skill set for me would be affiliate marketing, because I started to network in Malta and I knew some people from there. So then I ended up in affiliate management in Come on Cherry Casino. 2017, I decided that Malta is not necessary for me for the long term. So I ended up in Tallinn in Estonia. Back then, Tallinn wasn't as big iGaming hub as it is nowadays, but there was a couple of casinos there. So I ended up in doing affiliate marketing on Chance Casino, which is a startup casino there. And yeah, after that one, ended up in Ninja Casino, and I've been working also in head of affiliates. At some point, I did my own iGaming consultancy for affiliate departments. And in 2021, I actually started my own venture. Simultaneously, I was working also in some really good iGaming company as a CMO. So long story short, 2023, I exited my own venture and ended up in Mr. Gamble, which was a really lucky stroke for me also.
Well, I think you're pretty happy that you had that career change into the iGaming industry and moving to Malta even for a while. Your journey is really super interesting, and you spent time on both the operator and affiliate side, so it really gives you a good leverage to understand the ecosystem. And as I checked, you've been with Mr. Gamble for almost 2 years. I think 2 years is gonna hit next month.
Next month, yes.
Yeah. Can you please tell us about Mr. Gamble and what makes it different from similar companies in the iGaming affiliate space?
So yeah, Mr. Gamble itself started in 2019. I was kind of really focusing on the Twitch stream actually back then. So the founders were building up the audience, but simultaneously they noticed that, okay, this is really good for SEO also. So it started also the site. Mr. Gamble. And from the start, it's been in Mr. Gamble DNA that we test a lots of things what happen and see if we can leverage somehow. So I would say that we are a small and agile team who likes to have fun, and we have wide reach globally, and we have also built a really good iGaming brand itself. So we haven't just focused on keywords and stuff like that, which in some cases would be an easier route to exact match or stuff like that. But it's been like more that we build a great global affiliate brand. And there are not so many of those at the moment, as you might know. So of course, what makes us unique, like we have, of course, we do testing, and we have like different features like casino trends meter that we started like last year. Anyone can check it actually if they go to mrgamble.com. So they see it from there. And recently also we did the integration from Mr. Gamble form. So it was last year. We really want to start building also like good forum and audience, because we noticed that we have like loyal base in the Twitch. So we want to also have a kind of like forum type audience there. But what makes Unity, of course, like our team is the best, according to me at least. We have really good match of different personalities, and so there's not the one single person who would be kind of like the same. So we have different personalities and different strong points also, and I think that makes a great puzzle for us, kind of like mix up. So I would say that also our people are basically our like strongest part.
Yeah, it is definitely a great team, and Mr. Gamble is already well known in the industry. And there's also, a lot of projects that you're running. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Paul. And since you said you're currently based in Lapland, I'm curious, what does a typical day at work look like for you?
Yeah, there's no typical days in Mr. Gamble, but I'd say that normally, like I try to start like 7 or 8 o'clock, like Italian time zone. So that is normally like 1 or 2 hours before our clients in let's say UK or Central Europe start. So that gives a good start. I normally try to do some kind of activities in the morning. It's going to be like running or some kind of workout that I get my like heart rate up, and normally cold shower and a couple of cups of black coffee makes it. But it's normally start like I check the internal channel if there's been any issues that we need to address in our site. And obviously after that one is settled and done, I normally check the emails, stats in general. And after that, I normally open Skype or other channels that we communicate with them and check if there's anything that we need to address with the partners. And obviously there's lots of calls and meetings and prepping, and I'm trying to be like, I check also the iGaming like publications like Sigma News or Next.io or IGP, these kind of things, that if there's something new happening also in iGaming that I should take action or be aware of. And well, yeah, that's about it. Lots of like preparing and staying up with the trends, checking what kind of PR activities we could do, and if there's something that we could learn from the other iGaming companies, brands, but also from the other industries, if there's something that we could utilize also in our marketing. Of course, in gambling, it's a bit limited what you can do in terms of marketing, but we try to be as smart as possible also for the opportunities.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is so important to stay on top of all the news in our industry, especially since I don't want to use that phrase, but it is a very fast-paced environment.
Yes.
And I can relate to the Skype messages and the emails, and all those windows are open on your screen because our media team is also super busy chatting on several messaging tools all day. And it is also really great to hear that you give breaks and have some activities like running, skiing. It's so easy to get caught in the workflow. And for sure, you've reached this level of awareness after over a decade of experience in iGaming, but also the previous one that you had. But we may have some viewers or listeners who are looking to excel in their career path. So what skills or qualities do you think someone should develop to succeed in iGaming affiliate marketing?
I mean, obviously, I think the most important thing is kind of like be excited about what you do. So if you try to force something, it's not going to happen. So, and obviously, like, stay curious, like learn more, and like it can be SEO. There's lots of like good like content videos in YouTube, for example, where you can learn. There's lots of courses. So learn their tools and stay curious also. Network, go to these kind of events. I think the networking, for me, it's been really important in my industry, so that I always try to network people that are smarter than me and know more about some stuff that I do, and trying to kind of gain some information from them also. So connect with the right people, go to conferences, stay curious, and work hard.
Yeah, I love that advice. And since I myself am pretty new to the industry, it is extremely valuable and valid. Talk to people that are smarter than you. Always going to work, regardless of the industry, really.
Exactly.
And let's turn the wheel a little bit. And I have a lot to ask you about iGaming and affiliate marketing. So talking about iGaming affiliation, you mentioned your conversation with your partners. I'm guessing mainly iGaming operators. So when you're looking to partner with new operators as an iGaming affiliate, what do you usually focus on? Are there specific criteria like geos or conversion rates that you always consider before moving forward?
There's obviously lots of things that, like the first thing we do, we actually go to the site and try to look as I was a player, and even test like the deposits and stuff like that. And obviously, like we do only cooperation with licensed casinos, so you have to have some kind of license. Then of course, when we test like how deposits work and how landing pages look and stuff like that, we also do like checkup with forums like the different GPVA or affiliate cartons and stuff like that. So we want to dig into a bit like if there's any like negative things happening, like if there's late payments and stuff like that. And obviously we have our own forums with the affiliates that we share some information regarding that feedback on casinos. And obviously like localization, if they want some, let's say some, I don't know, Canadian traffic, but they don't have Interac or something, some localized payments, or you otherwise see that it's not localized, they just want to have the traffic. So obviously that's a bit no-go then. So localization is really important also. Then we check what kind of landing pages they have, and these kind of things. So, and of course we ask also from the operators that what are their top 10 geos. So how we can match, because even though like biggest markets for us is UK, Canada, New Zealand, Nordic countries, so forth, but we have lots of traffic also globally. So we want to really match like each geos, because there can be all of a sudden that there's some geo that affiliate management hasn't noticed, but they know that, okay, you have actually localized this one, so it should work quite well in Greece or some other countries. So we just try to gather as much information as possible, and also obviously like we ask from operator what are the conversion numbers, and obviously we work with 100 or even 1,000 casinos, so we see the average what it should be. And if we pinpoint that, okay, like why is this conversion number this low in this country when in general average it should be like this one? So we also help a lot with casinos, because they don't necessarily understand all the gimmicks that needs to make in some markets that we have worked for several years.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you put so much emphasis on localization, both of the content and the payments. Here in Poland, we have a specific payment called Blik. And like a couple of months ago, maximum 2 or 3, Revolut actually introduced Blik into their app. And this was a massive step forward. All the media outlets in Poland were talking about this because it was so important to us. So, getting the payments in the country, the ones that are used in the country, it's so important. So talking about the partnership, not only in the iGaming business, but also in other industries, mutual trust is crucial between brands and affiliates. So building transparency between partners is critical in maintaining this trust. And recently we've witnessed that technology plays a huge role in managing partnerships. So what are some tools or solutions that you think could help affiliate managers maintain strong relationships with operators?
Well, there's a bunch of tools, and obviously since I left, uh, operator side, there's been so many like AI powered stuff that happened after that one. So I can't really name any tool in particular at the moment who would help them, but there are plenty of those, and just do the research. And obviously, like just like basic SEO tools help a lot, like SEMrush or offers some basic stuff. So learn those also, because then you understand more like affiliation also, especially in SEO, how it works.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously working with affiliates is such an important part of their operations and revenues for iGaming operators. And since day one, operators are always hungry for affiliate traffic. So now from an operator's perspective, what criteria should iGaming businesses consider when choosing affiliates? I'm also curious about your thoughts on influencer marketing. It's pretty popular lately, but maybe it has the wrong publicity.
It really depends. Obviously, you need to check what's their target audience and what's your target audience. Can you match those? And obviously, responsible gaming, because in influencer and social media marketing, there's always kind of like the problem that you don't target underage players. So that's been always kind of like tough. And we also have Twitch channels, so it's kind of like we need to be very careful also with kind of like in the UK. Obviously, we cannot really do it. So you need to be also sure that like if you work in a regulated market, that there isn't anything that there could be conflict between the influencer and brand being in a showing the wrong audience and stuff like that, or targeting minors. And well, obviously, like the ratio affiliate, just check like kind of like what kind of keywords and what markets the target. Do they match your criteria, or what? Like if you don't want a free spin traffic and you see that the site has lots of free spin keywords, obviously that can be a bit red flag. So that is kind of like what I did back in the days when I worked in the operator side. So I checked like what kind of keywords to rank for. If there was influencer, Twitch streamer, or anything like that, what kind of content they have. So I checked like a couple of hours their content and kind of like get the idea what kind of personalities are there. Well, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I appreciate that answer, and it's great you mentioned SEO, because there are several channels through which affiliates can generate iGaming traffic, and if you ask me, SEO is really one of the best performing channels due to its organic traffic potential, but it really comes with its own challenges. What are some of the biggest hurdles that SEO affiliates like Mr. Gamble might face? Like, how do you handle things like Google updates or keeping content fresh and engaging for visitors?
Well, like I said, I think the biggest one for SEO affiliates are like us is Google updates, and especially like now the search engine, they are changing a bit, and the content that people use or search is also switching at the moment. I think it's also the fact that Gen X Z is coming kind of like to the game. So the way people search, like they don't necessarily use Google that much, or they use it, but it's also different. They use like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, these kind of social media channels also. So there's always, of course, opportunity in that one in terms of using influencers. But yeah, obviously we need to keep in mind that, especially this year, it's more like quantity of, not quantity that much, but quality more. So we really focus on that these content that we provide, it's made for humans, not for Google. Because we notice also that Google like is changing the way of the rankings and stuff like that. So there's, of course, for every SEO affiliate at the moment, like it's a big challenge, obviously, to stay in the top of the game.
Yeah, and it is great that you mentioned the other kind of search engines, not just Google, but also TikTok, YouTube. Another thing that I've noticed, people start asking ChatGPT for answers that they would normally ask Google,
Exactly.
which also is a challenge because ChatGPT, as we all know by now, may sometimes put out straight lies, to be very blunt. And on a related note, over-optimizing content can also be a bit of a pitfall. So how do you strike the right balance when creating content to make sure it performs well, but so it is not also overloaded with keywords?
That is actually, I think that question would be more for our SEO nerds. I'm kind of like sales and marketing guy, and PR guy. But obviously, I oversee also some stuff regarding the content. So obviously, like I said, we want to make it for humans. It's not for AI. It's not for Google, for humans. And even though like last year, it's kind of like the whole AI and ChatGPT boom started, I think in the future it's going to be like more important to actually like focus on quality content and also that it's made for humans. So there should always be a good balance between that one. But obviously now 2025, I think it's going to be even more important than ever.
Yeah, and I kind of look forward to that future that you just said, that quality will be more important. I have some PR background myself, so I will always say, like, give quality first. We'll think about the keywords a bit later, as long as that content piece provides actual value for people. It's going to rank better and better, of course, with a little bit of support of SEO. And we can see that there are very different types of content being used across the industry, whether it's blog articles, videos, images. So in my opinion, building a community and gaining the trust of the iGaming audience is also is so crucial to have sustainable growth. In your opinion, what types of content do you find the most effective for building trust and engagement with audiences?
There's of course different like demographics also in the audience in that sense. But when we used to focus more on Twitch, we noticed that there's like kind of like a trust and there was audience also involved. We still do Twitch, but it doesn't have that much effect in our overall business anymore. But like I said earlier, besides that one, we started the Mr. Gamble forum and we did the integration last year also. So if there's any feedback regarding that one, we keep them visible, so we don't like hide them or anything like that. And that is also very good that, like if there's a review on a site, there's an integration also from the forum. So if there's some player that, has some positive or negative feedback, it's shown also in that one. So I think that kind of transparency is very important. The forums, some influencers and Twitch and stuff like that can be a good route in transparency, but also building a trust.
Yeah, and I think if everything is positive, there's no way that the brand is transparent. I mean, it would be a great scenario, but there's no one brand that will gain just positive reviews. There must be.
That is actually like because we have a star rating on site. So obviously there's some affiliate managers that ask like, like, hey, could we have 5-star? It's like, no. Like I'm not going to tweak it for 5-star and we can't even do it. So it's based on the user reviews.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And now we are only 2 weeks into the new year, and I'm so curious, what trends in affiliate marketing are you most excited about as we're heading into 2025?
Yeah, in the same way, excited and scared, but that's always a good combination. So of course, AI and ChatGPT is going to be like something that it's going to change the industry. It's already started last year. It's obviously have more impact this year even. Obviously, Google updates, search intent, stuff like that. Cryptos. I think crypto gambling is going to be more and more popular also. Then new generation, Gen Z, because we want to learn more about the youngsters. So like, I'm Millennial myself, so I always think that I'm young, but I'm 40 now, so I was like, I'm not that young.
Yeah, and the Gen Z often laughs at us millennials, and then they wear the same clothes, they do the same things. It's just a circle. I love what you said, really. So when it comes to AI, I think after the initial hype, I think people started to understand what comes with it and not to fully trust what AI is giving out. And I think it's going to be very interesting to watch how the perception level of AI evolves, given that we already have some ground knowledge, some basic knowledge about this.
Exactly.
And these are really things that we'll be monitoring closely. So before we wrap up, I wanted to touch the topic of industry events, even though I know you won't be one of those people that come to Barcelona. You're not one of those people that keep pushing those posts on LinkedIn. But in general, attending events.
I actually did have a post in that I'm not coming to Barcelona.
Yeah, you did. It's a little bit different, but I love that approach as well. Because who knows, maybe many people were expecting to meet you there. So it's at least good to let them know, not this time. So attending events, especially in iGaming, is such an essential part of networking and staying informed, whether we're talking about the smaller networking gatherings or large expos like Sigma, ICE. Affiliates really can benefit from both of them. How do you, in general, prepare for events, and what tips would you give to our viewers?
Obviously, yeah, it depends on what kind of event it is. So, but in general, I of course check the calendar. I book meetings, but nowadays I don't normally fill my calendar too much, because I want to have that. I have like a couple of hours that I can actually roam around in a conference and see what's happening, because I have had these back-to-back meetings and it's just like a bit draining. Of course, downsides, I don't necessarily have to have kind of like the book meeting for each one, 30 minutes. But then again, sometimes when I run up to some person like in a conference floor, I can have the meeting in like ad-hoc there, 10 or 15 minutes. So I have this kind of like a walking meetings also. But always prepare kind of like, if you have a book meeting with anyone, of course, check the product and stats and stuff like that. For affiliate managers, like you should always send a memo from the book meetings. So do that one. So that's important also, because I make also my own memos. Other than that, just like before the conference, to see what kind of companies there are. I normally mark, like if I don't have booked in meetings, I just mark, okay, I would like to see this one and this one, and so I'm just going to walk into the stand or something like that, or meet them in some pre-events or after party or something like that.
Yeah, I fully agree. And also for the large expos, what I would add is look at the map, the exhibitor map, because I looked at ICE and I was a little bit scared because it's so massive. There's 3 different areas, actually 4 if you count IGB affiliate, and invest in some good shoes and make sure that you don't run back and forth from the last hall to the first one. It may be also very tiring, and also it wastes a lot of time that you could otherwise be spending on having a longer, meaningful conversation with the person you were talking to.
It seems that I always make that mistake. I just book the meetings and okay, let's run and run there and stuff like that. But apparently I never learn. But those are good tips. And yeah, shoes are pretty good. Take a good breakfast always before that one, before the meeting. So yeah, I think you can get quite far with those tips.
Yeah, I second them. And so since you're skipping Barcelona, it is still very, very great to know your tips, and I'm sure that many people from iGaming that are going going to use them. Paul, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. But before we wrap up, is there one key piece of advice or a takeaway that you'd like to leave with our audience?
There are many. I think kind of like stay curious. I think that's the most important thing, like in life and in business. Just like be open to learn more, and also that like you're not necessarily always right. So I learned that one the hard way a couple of times, that I have to look in the mirror that Paul, like you weren't really right in this one. So like admit also mistakes, but stay curious would be probably like kind of like me. I think.
Yeah, I love that, and being self-aware is really so important, because listening to other people's views may at first sound like an attack, but it's really usually not.
I love to disagree with people because like then you learn something new. If everybody just agrees with you, there's something wrong then.
Yeah, I agree. Paul, for those who want to learn more about Mr. Gamble or connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
I try to be quite active on LinkedIn, so you can reach out from there. And obviously, if you're coming to Tallinn, you can reach out to me that, hey, let's have a coffee or something. I'm based there normally, of course, now I'm in Lapland. And obviously, I try to be at least like 3 or 4 conferences a year. So conference is also a good place to meet me.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate all your insights. I'm sure people who are listening or watching us have made a lot of notes. And thanks to our today's sponsor, Pinup Partners, I encourage you to visit their booth at IGB next week in Barcelona. And everybody, have a great rest of the day. I'll see you at the next episode of Ace Alliance Insights. Thank you.
See you. Ciao.